Hey, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Franzi back with another Genshin Impact video, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Resin Pass that has been accidentally leaked, I suppose you could say. Big shout out to @Zeniat at Twitter for all this information. He's great at posting all things related to Genshin. Highly recommend follow if you aren't. But this was basically deleted from the PlayStation Store very quickly. It was accidentally put up there, I believe. This is a Resin Pass, and as you can see, upon purchase, you get 60 resin immediately, and for the next 30 days, for when you daily log in, you'll get an additional 40 resin. So this is very similar to the Blessing of the Welkin Moon Pass, where you get $5, you get the immediately 300 Primo Gems, and then the 90 Primo Gems a day for the next 27 days. It's a little different, but at the same time, it is very, very similar. And here's just the rough translation if you want to look at exactly what it is. I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and try and translate that, but I'm going to go ahead and take his word that this is what is basically said here. But the question is this Resin Pass worth it? So I've got my handy little notepad here where I go over exactly how much resin we're really looking at here and if it's worth it. So obviously you get the 60 resin on the initial purchase and then 40 per day for the next 30 days, which adds up to 1,260 resin for $5, and that is for the entire month. So after 30 days, this is the extra amount of resin that you will have gotten. So looking at that, that is a lot of resin. So if we're going to compare that to how much you get naturally, then naturally, of course, you get 180 resin a day. I mean, you get 8 per minute, 24 hours, blah, 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 180 a day. Pretty low amount in comparison. But remember, this is daily and this is for the entire month. So like this won't look like a lot initially, but it does add up over time. But this 1,260 is an entire 7 days worth of resin, or just one entire week of resin. So basically your natural resin, if you, well, I guess not natural, but your resin when you buy this pass will look like you're getting 5 weeks of resin in a month instead of 4 weeks. So like normally there's 4 weeks in a month, obviously. And when you buy this pass, you basically get an extra week, so it's like 5 weeks of resin in 1 month. Now, I mean, 1,260 resin kind of sounds like a lot, and it's kind of hard to just estimate how much that is in a number, so I kind of broke it down a little bit more. So obviously boss fights and like condensed resin uses are all very important, and they all cost 40 resin. So if you used in an entire month, 1,260 resin gives you 31.5 extra boss fights every month. So 31.5 extra boss fights a month does sound like a lot, and it kind of is, because realistically it takes you a ton of time and a ton of materials to level up your characters from like 80 to 90. So like getting this extra resin really will help. But if you use your resin entirely on ley lines and domains, the 1,260 resin, then you will get an extra 63 ley lines or domains a month, which is just a ridiculous amount of ley lines and domains. I mean, this is, you can use all this for artifact farming. I mean, I'm super unlucky, so like something like this will hopefully allow me to get a good artifact set. I mean, this isn't for everybody, obviously, but like this is just for people that want to hardcore grind more. It's really unfortunate because this is just like a more pay to win kind of thing. Even though these numbers look great, I kind of want to break it down a tiny bit more to look at how many Primo Gems that this is really saving. So obviously, if you go in game and you try and buy resin yourself, it costs 50 Primo Gems to get 60 resin, which is just an awful rate. First of all, I just want to throw that out there. That is tremendously bad. Now, I've never purchased this, but I believe that after you purchase it a few times, that this cost goes up, and you can only do it 6 times a day. But if you were to buy Primo Gems from the shop just to increase your resin, then real quickly I'm going to look at exactly how much this is. So I know it says bonus 300, but that's because you get a first time. After the first time, it is only 30, I believe. So this would only be 330 Genesis crystals, which is just 330 Primo Gems realistically. So 330 Primo Gems for $5, right? That's how many Primo Gems you would get. So you would be able to refill your resin 6 times if the price didn't go up. You know, again, I'm assuming the price doesn't go up, or at least you do this on separate days so that it will cost 50. So you get 6 separate times, almost a seventh. So 6 times the 60, you get 360 resin for $5. Or, you know, tiny bit more, obviously, because it's 330. But either way, you get 360-ish resin for $5, opposed to 1,260 resin for $5. So obviously, if you're buying resin with Primo Gems, this pass is 100% worth it, and you should do it. Now, obviously, free-to-play players, this is a no-brainer. Do not buy this. Dolphins, potentially you could buy this. I mean, realistically, if you're going to spend $5 on this game, The Blessing of the Lucken Moon is a no-brainer. That is the best deal in the entire game. This pass is not necessary at all. I mean, realistically, you just have to wait another week if you want to do something, you know? So this Resin Pass isn't like the steal of the century. It's not great or anything. I mean, like I said, it's really shitty that they're making you pay more for resin instead of trying to fix the resin problem or solve it in another way. Like, this is not a solution to it, especially because you have to pay. So please let me know what you guys think. I really think this is kind of shitty, and this is a terrible solution. If this is their solution to resin problems, you shouldn't have to pay to get more resin. You shouldn't have to pay to play their game more. But at the same time, if you are spending Primo Gems currently refreshing your resin, then this is absolutely worth it. I mean, you get 1,260 resin opposed to the 330 that you would get, so this is a no-brainer if you are purchasing resin. But do keep in mind that this is just a leaked thing that was on the PlayStation Store of what looks like the Chinese PlayStation Store. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sorry, I don't know this language, but it was taken down very quickly. So there's no, there's no for sure thing that this is coming or that this is official. But I mean, realistically, this seems like something that MIHOYO would do. So I would expect this to be a real thing and be implemented either soon or in 1.3. Again, I don't know. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Please let me know your thoughts down below. I'm very curious to what some of you guys think of this. And please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one. Peace.